Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. I thought I would drop this video today just so you know that I'm still around and still intend on making content. But this video is going to be a little different to what you're usually used to. There's going to be no soldering, there's going to be no reviews of internet radios, there's going to be no record decks or anything like that. This is entirely a retrospective, as you were, on the stuff that I've done in the past and a projection of what I might do in the future. It's to essentially draw a line under some of my past projects and give you an update of what might be still happening on the ones that I intend to continue with and the ones that I haven't continued with and won't continue with. You can class it as sort of like a state of the channel address for 2022. Now, why am I doing this now and not at any other time? Well, you may legitimately ask that, and the reason is because I've hit my 500 subscriber mark. Now, that isn't a lot. You and I both subscribe to many channels that have hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of subscribers. But for me, this channel is a hobby. So 500 subscribers is a good milestone. It means that I'm still growing. And somebody out there still wants to watch the stuff that I produce. It's taken me a lot of time to put videos out recently in the last few years, primarily because of the job that I have. It's a full-time job in tech, and up until the start of this year, it was a management job, which sometimes pushed the boundaries of what I was doing in a day. And the first thing that happens is that your hobbies get pushed out of the side. So there is not a lot of time to do that. And when I do a video, I have to film B-roll and I have to film, that's the stuff that you see when I'm talking over the top, doing voiceovers. And also the other stuff like script writing and generally editing the stuff together, putting music on if I need to and all those things. It all takes time, and it's just something that I haven't had in the past. Now, I have got a new job and I'm doing a lot more technical stuff again, but there is equally stuff that I need to learn that I've not done before. So there's going to be still some things outside of the hobby that will dictate what I can do. Anyway, but enough of that. So this is what I'm going to plan to do in this video, retrospective of what I've done in the past, and a chance for you to affect what I do in the future. So stay tuned. Okay, now let's get on to the crux of the video and do some retrospective stuff. First thing you'll notice is that there's a different shirt. That's bad continuity on my front, but you'll see that a lot in this video because everything's been recorded on a different day. Secondly, you'll see that, or you'll remember that when I did the introduction, that I said the channel started in 2011, and officially it did. The very first video was posted in there, but I don't think of the channel actually starting in terms of what it ended up being until January 2016. You see, in January 2016, I bought my very first smartwatch. It was a Pebble Time Steel, of which I still think was one of the very best smartwatches. But I might do a video on that, but I might not. Anyway, I still got it. It's broken, but hey, that's by the by. So I just bought my new smartwatch, and I wanted to see what else was out there that wasn't an Apple Watch. So obviously, I went straight on to AliExpress to do a search, and there was this particular smartwatch called GT08. Was everywhere. It was branded at all sorts of different brands. They were all Chinese, and I don't know whether it was made to a same design but in different factories, or it was just one factory just with different brands on. Anyway, it was less than £20, £18 I think to be exact. So I just went away and bought it, and I thought, I wonder if I can do a review of this as an alternative. I was originally going to do a comparison between my Pebble Time and this GT08. Well, when I got it, I realized that they were really chalk and cheese. You couldn't really compare them. The GT08 was huge. It was the size of a small country on your wrist. Now, to be fair to it, it did have a lot of technology built in there. It had a SIM slot and everything. But when I switched it on, I realized very quickly that it was bad. It was really, really appalling. And I was so I thought it was amusing at how bad it was. I did a very not very good review where nothing really worked, and I put it out there just to see who would comment. Well, it turned out a lot of people did have this smartwatch, and they really rather liked it, and they didn't like me criticizing it. So they commented on it. They commented on it. A lot of comments, and that amused me, and that sort of said to me, they don't rate my reviewing, but there are lots of people who are commenting, so I'm obviously going to do a follow-up video, of which I did, to a response to all of their comments. And yeah, both of those videos are still out there. I'm just mentioning this in dispatches. There's no follow-up video, there's just 2 videos. But this got like 41, between the 2 videos, it was 41,000 views as to date. So I think I would mention this as being the very first proper video on this channel. So you can, if you really want to laugh, go and have a look. They're still there. I'll put it in the description. They're not very good videos. The lighting's poor, the sound's poor, there was no script. It wasn't a very objective review, but if you want to laugh, go and have a look at that. So that was the first one. That was from January 2016. That had 41,000 subscribers, and that was the review of the GT08 smartwatch. Okay, so another day, another shirt. It must mean another retrospective of a series of videos, and this one is for, I've just banged the table, oh, professional here. This one's for the XPS, the Dell XPS 9560, which I bought back in May 2017, so a little over 5 years ago. And the backstory here was quite simple. I'd been in tech for a number of years. I needed my own laptop. I've been using company laptops, but I wanted one that was really, really powerful and it could do everything I threw at it. So I did have a budget, but it was quite high. It was about £2,000. And I still really wanted value for money. And it also had to run Linux natively. I wasn't going to dual boot anymore. I'd had enough of that. This laptop, when I bought it, needed to run Linux. Now it needed also to be able to edit videos and render those and do music, recording music and bits of coding, run containers. It had to do everything that I was going to throw at it quite comfortably. So this is what I bought. Now it's fair to say it's been a rocky road. There are 5 videos on this playlist, and if you go back, again, the link to the playlist is in the description. But if you go back, you'll see what I did to get it into running Linux and some of the problems I had. But that's not all the problems I had. I had other problems as well. And I think what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to do one last video to finish off the series before I close the laptop lid on the XPS 9560. It's still running. In fact, this video was probably edited on it, but it's had problems. Things were not all rosy. Some of them my doing. I didn't realize that the XPS 15 wasn't supported with Linux. It was just the XPS 13. Didn't realize that. And you know, yeah, some ups and downs is fair to say. So there's one more video coming on this. If you're interested in that, it should be coming in the next few months. If you're interested in the series, in the description, you'll have a link to the playlist. So it's had over 59,000 views on the whole playlist. So yeah, if you're interested, one more video to come on that. Okay, moving on, we have the solar powered weather station series of videos. There were 7 videos in these playlists. I started this, it seems like decades ago. And the backstory was really, well, I'm just interested in weather, and I'm British, so I'm obsessed with the damn stuff. And back in the 90s, when I went to university, the course I did was about interfacing electronics and computer software together. And I did a project on recording weather information, which I never quite got finished. So I was interested about going back to then and see what I could do now with that as a remit. Also, you know, the main thing about this was it's a solar powered weather station. So at the heart of it is a Raspberry Pi, yes, and there are some electronic sensors, that's true. But it was about powering. How can I power this? Because where I was going to put this, there were no power supplies, no mains supply. So that was the main reason why I did the solar powered weather station. Oh, it's very dirty, this box. Yeah, so I managed to get solar power stuff working, sort of, but not entirely. So this was very much a version 1. There were some thoughts, some things that I needed to improve on. And yeah, I'm not finished with this. So that was all version 1. There, like I say, there were 7 videos in the playlist. We had over 13,000 views to date on this. But the first video was August 2018, I think. But I did a catch-up video in August 2020. That was 4 years since I started. But part 2 is coming. I have more videos on this. I am not finished on this project. The playlist as it is now is obviously in the description. So if you want to catch up with the story, have a look at that. But this is not a dead project. Version 2 is coming. I have got a better way to power it. I've got more. I've got a way of having less consumption of electricity, which will make the battery last longer. Yeah, things to come on that. So keep your eyes peeled if you're interested in that. Right, we're like halfway through. So please, just patience. We'll get through this together. The next set of reviews of retrospective of videos that I've done is for the internet radios, and this is the one that started it all out, the John Lewis Octave, which I bought back in 2019 and did a review in January 2020. 2020 before the pandemic. Yeah, simpler times. Anyway, it did quite well. And that's why I've done subsequent reviews of radios, because people asked me for more reviews. They liked that review in particular, and asked me for more. So I continued doing them. The backstory was there was no agenda to this. I just needed a new radio for my bedside table, and that was the one I bought. And despite the naysayers who say this, it'll fail within 3 months. You bought a dud. It's terrible. Well, it's still going on. Of course, it's still going on. It's still waking me up every morning. It's fine. I don't know what some people do with the electronics. I don't know whether they drop kick them around the house, but if you treat them well, they'll be fine. So this one is still going on, and I will continue to do internet radio reviews because I enjoy doing them, and people seem to enjoy watching them. I get more likes for these than anything else, and yeah, pretty good. I've still got some in boxes which I'm just looking off screen, which I still haven't done yet. So those will be done in the next coming months. The problem with internet radio reviews is I'm not at the stage where I think everybody thinks that if you're on YouTube you get things free. No, that's not the way it works. I'd like to review some radios if manufacturers give them to me. I would do them a completely fair and honest way. I wouldn't let them have any editorial content. But at the moment, I have to buy them with my own money. I try and look around for certified refurb stuff because that's cheaper. But I'm just constantly reviewing eBay and Amazon to see things that are reasonable and I can afford to do reviews on. So they'll still be going. Like I say, I've still got some to do. One other point that I'll raise now, people don't seem to have worked out that the only radio reviews I do are internet radios. They're not just, people ask me can you do this FM portable radio or this DAB radios? No, I'm not interested, because they are the future. I love radio, but the future of radio is not through FM and DAB frequencies. It's through some sort of internet streaming, whether it's the same protocols they use now or something different. The FM and DAB frequency range will get eaten up by some other services. They'll get sold on, and they will become, sadly, because I used to love dialing around on the shortwave dial and stuff when I was young, but they'll disappear. So internet radios are where the future is, and that's what I'll continue to review. So I've got a playlist for this, as always. It's in the description. If you're interested in any of those things, go and have a look before I put some new stuff out. Right, so we've been through the retrospective of some of the bigger videos that I've done on the channel since it started. But what is the biggest video at the moment on the channel? Well, bit of a surprise, to be honest, because when we had lockdown, I was struggling to find things to do because I couldn't really go out. So I came up with this quick fix series. I didn't know how long it was going to go on. I didn't know how long lockdown was going to go on. So I looked for things around the house that I could quickly fix or attempt to fix in a period of one video, a single video, from reviewing the problem, dissecting the device, testing, troubleshooting, and then hopefully resolving it. And one of those videos was to fix a broken paper shredder that I had in the house. And I put it out. I did another one on a solar powered light that I needed to fix, an external solar powered light. I put them out just to give me something to do. And they didn't really do much. You know, they got a couple of hundred views, but nothing really much. And then, like a year later, the paper shredder video started to get an increase in views where the other one didn't. But it was a relatively calm increase, let's just say. It wasn't like took off. But then a couple of weeks ago, this paper shredder video has just gone mad. It's just started to go like that. And I don't know why. So we're over at 9,000 views at the moment, and it's just easily every day I have hundreds of views on this, and I don't understand why, because I never actually managed to fix the problem. I could have fixed the problem, but we came into a case of economics being what they are, and it was actually cheaper for me to buy a new shredder than to get a new motor to fix the old shredder. So yeah, that's what's currently the biggest daily view count on my channel. The biggest, the can you fix a paper shredder? And again, the link is in the description if you want to watch that and boost my channel rating on that particular bizarre one, because it wasn't even one that I had scripted for really. I just started the camera rolling and went through. So that was interesting. So yeah, that's the biggest one. Like I say, I think it's got, at the time that I'm recording this, it's 9,300 and going up by hundreds every day. So interesting. Don't know why. So now you've seen the retrospective of the videos that I've done since I put the channel live. What didn't work? Well, there's a few videos on there that I really spent lots and lots of time on, and I really enjoyed the topic, but I put them out and they did nothing. They just tanked. And that, for me, is a bit of a shame. But I think it underlines, I'm putting on the screen in the little captions which are the ones that I thought could have done more. And I put them out there. They didn't do very well. I'm certainly not going to not do some of those again, because there's things that I enjoy doing. But it would have been nice if they took off a little bit more, if there was a bit more traction. If you want to know what they are, again, description, you'll see the links. Have a view at some of the stuff that tried and failed. So the more observant amongst you might realise that a change in camera angle infers a change in topic, and that indeed is the case. We've done all of the stuff in the past. We've done the reviews and we've done the retrospectives of videos that have happened since the start of the channel up until now. But let's just draw a line under those. Some other topics I will continue to do, like the internet radio reviews, Some of them will be left in the past. But I want to know what I should do on this channel going forward in the future. And I'd like to get some feedback from you. Now, I've asked this from you before and not had anything really back, but that's probably because there wasn't a real good method of getting data back to me. But now there is. When you hit about 500 subscriptions, you get an extra option that appears in your YouTube channel, and that is the community tab. If you look at the YouTube channel, down here you'll have a number of tabs. One of them will community, and that means there's a way of me getting communicating back to the subscribers of the channel. But it also means that I can put in a little poll of suggestions of what I should do on the channel. So I'm going to do that when this video is released, and hopefully if you can choose some options that appeal to you, I can make sure that I do videos on those going forward. However, that's not the only stuff that's going to happen. I've got lots of interests, all audio, music related. So let's just see. What other things could I do? Well, microphones. I have a selection of old antiquated microphones, some of which work, some of which don't. I'd like to do some reviews of those and fix some of them if I can possibly do that. So there'll be videos on those coming up, hopefully. Musical instruments. I've been playing musical instruments for a number of years, since I was a teenager. Actually before that, really. And off screen I've got a selection of guitars and basses. I've got some keyboards, some drum machines, some effects machines. Some of them work, some of them don't. I'd like to possibly include those in the channel as videos. And also I've got things like, you know, you've already seen one of the record decks that I've got, but I've got cassette decks and various hi-fi stuff from the past. Would you like me to do reviews on those? Fix some of these things up, perhaps? I'll leave that entirely up to you. And what I'd like to say is, if you can complete the poll, that would be brilliant. Or you can send me an email or any other way of contacting me just to give me some information, or just use the comments. It's all beneficial to me, and it all makes sure that I know what you would want me to do for this channel. So that's it, the end of this State of the Channel address for 2022. And I'd just like to sum up by saying thank you very much for everybody who's viewed any of my videos, commented it, subscribed, liked, disliked, anything like that. It's all good stuff, and I take it all on board, and I appreciate everything and all the time you've taken when you're watching my videos. I'd like you just to remember that the video comes out with the poll in the community section of the video, and I'd like you to just vote on something that you might be interested in, and I'll try and do that going forward. But until then, please stay tuned, and I'll get some more content out as soon as possible. Thanks very much. Stay safe. Bye.